So I decided to take the drone out for a little spin. It was late in the day, probably, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes before sunset. So getting some of those nice colors. Not a great sunset day in terms of clouds and so forth, but we'll just pan straight down here and take a look at me. I'm waving from about, I don't know, 100 feet in the air. Maybe a little higher. Gonna go across the street here and take a look at a friend of mine's house who passed away a few years ago, Jim Kingsley. We used to coach together in Little League. Great guy. Really miss him. That's his house with the solar panels. He was really ahead of the game. He did it himself. He had a construction company and never really did that kind of thing, but he figured he could figure it out. So with a little help from an electrician, he put some panels on. So going down his street there, some really nice homes, and I was surprised there's a free lot still available. I haven't been down there in a while. And you can see that a lot of people have solar. I mean, we're going north, so this is south side you're seeing, which is where most people would have their solar, so you can pretty much see it. Most of the homes have some presence. This guy has, I counted him, 39 panels on his house. So he's got some pretty serious kilowatts going. I got about here and I was losing signal, so I raised it up a bit, thinking that I could get signal, but while I was trying to do that, I lost signal completely for some reason. I think my cable was loose. When that happens, the software takes over and does what they call a return to home. So it establishes a home point where I take off from, and it's boogieing. It goes up a certain altitude. I think I had it set about 120 feet, so I would clear all the trees and then come back to the home point and then come down. So at this point, I was trying to figure out, should I stop this thing? If I'm losing signal, I don't want to. I'm afraid it might, I might not get control. But I had control by this time, so I did. I think I stopped it here, and then kept it coming back anyway, just to see what was going on, and got the cables attached a little tighter. I'm not sure if that's the problem or not. And those umbrellas are me right there by the umbrellas. And so I came straight overhead and figured, well, I still have plenty of battery. Let's just look out across the valley here. This is we are in the Sierra foothills, so this is looking down towards Folsom Lake in the distance there. And if you go off to the left, which I think I will, is the American River Canyon. So had a good connection going this way. As I go further, I'll start to bleed a little altitude here because it starts going down. So it's getting a little bit tougher connection. So I think here I was seeing a little bit harder connection. Had a nice picture there of the American River. So it's a pretty steep canyon there. A lot of people train on that canyon for ultra marathon type things. Matter of fact, the Western States comes up that part of the canyon a little bit farther down east of there, and it's about 1,450 feet from that canyon, that river, up to where we are on land up here. Some really nice homes out here. As I pan left, there's a really nice house that's extremely large, and he's got property that goes all the way down. I don't know if it goes all the way to the river, but an amazing amount of land right there. So I'll try not to get too close and get anybody ticked off, but I'm trying to stay on the road here, but realizing my signal was a little sketchy, so I figured let's just bring it back and came back as sort of straight. Had it in normal mode, so I'm probably going a little bit over 20, 25 miles an hour, so pretty quick. And I'm pretty high, so it's pretty quiet about that height, so I'm not sure that I'm making much noise for anybody below me. And coming back on to my house, and I noticed, well, there's the sun about ready to set, and probably still another 10 minutes. And yeah, that was very pretty. You can see it's starting to get a little darker. I don't have any UV lenses on this. This is just straight out of the camera. So going up to where we originally started from. That green field in the background is a local elementary school, and I'll do a lot of training up there. But now the hard part. Let's see if I can land on my little tiny red landing strip. And I'll cut to the chase and tell you that it was perfect. Or I did a return to home, so that's why it's straightened out. And you can see my dog there waiting. He really doesn't care about the drone. And this landing was perfect. It was pinpoint right on that H. I mean, I've landed many times before, up at the school and stuff. And I'm sometimes on the mat, many times 5 feet off, but this time I'm right in that inner circle, right on the H.